Happy Friday. This week we were talking about factors and multiples. We'll have our test on it on Tuesday. Factors and multiples are basically just the groundwork that's going to prepare us for multiplication over the multiplication and division over the next couple months, pretty much. We'll pretty much be doing factors and multiples at least the next 4 weeks, if not 5 or 6 weeks. Not factors and multiples, multiplication and division. But factors and multiples will have been preparing us for that. Here is a quick rundown. For example, if I have the equation 3 times 7, my factors are 3 and 7. My multiple in this case would be 21. If we count by threes, we will eventually get to 21. Therefore, 3 is a factor of 21. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We counted by 3 7 times to get 21. And therefore, 7 is the other factor. We can count by 7 3 times to get 21. 7, 14, 21. So the factors are always going to be smaller than the multiple. The factor will be either smaller or the same size as the number. The multiple is going to be the same size or greater. If we wanted to find the multiples of 21, we would have 21 times 1 is 21. So that would be the first multiple of 21. The second multiple would be 42. After that, 21 more would be 63. So these would be the multiples of 21. These are the factors of 21. There are other factors of 21. We also could do 1 times 21, because if we count by 1 21 times, we get 21. If we count by 21 one time, we again get 21. Okay. And of course, you can see that through it. We had some hundreds charts that we worked with this week. It's just spread out. It's a square made of 1 through 100. And we used this to talk about our factors and multiples. For example, the day that we had this sheet, I said, please circle the factors of 8. And so we talked about, if you count by 1, will you ever say 8? Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you count by 1 8 times, you'll get 8. But we have to count by 1 8 times to get 8. So 8 is our other factor. And if you count by 8 one time, you get 8. And we kind of went through each of these to test to see whether if you counted by those or if you multiply by them, if you'll ever get 8. And if you do, if you evenly get 8 with a whole number, then it is a factor. For example, 2. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 would also be a factor. But if we go by threes, 3, 6, 9. It skips over 8. So 3 is not a factor of 8. 4, and then 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 8. So 4, 8. So 4 is also a factor. 5 skips to 10, 6 skips to 12, 7 skips to 14, and then we already have 8 as our factor. So these are all the factors of 8. And then after we got our factors, I asked them to shade the multiples of 8. So what we did is we started counting by 8, and those who couldn't count by 8, we counted up 8 each time. So when you're counting by 8, the first thing you're going to count is 8. So you have 8. 8 is your first multiple of 8. 8 plus 8 gives you 16. And those who weren't sure about that, they could check by counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then 8 more than 8 would give you 16. 8 more than 16 gives you 24. 8 more than 24, 32. 8 more than 32 is 40. 8 more than that is 48. 8 more than that, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96. There are more multiples than these 12. However, these are the only ones we can shade on the multiples chart, or the hundreds chart. But as we went through these, we kind of pointed out, there's some patterns. We have a diagonal line here, and then we skip up to the 5th multiple. Then we have another diagonal line, skip up to the 10th multiple, diagonal line, and it would keep going like that with a little skip in between. Also, we notice 8, 6, 4, 2, 0 in the ones place. We notice 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, and that would continue. So that's the factors of 8. These are the multiples of 8. We did that with several other numbers, but I won't go through those in this video. Another activity we did was we took counting tiles, and I handed the students just several tiles, just a handful, and I said, I want you to use these tiles. I want you to make a rectangle out of 12 tiles. And then I gave them a few minutes to just work as a group, and I walked around and observed, and I saw several different things. The most common one I saw, though, was they would make something like this. All right, so we have a rectangular shape, and there are 12 tiles that make up that shape. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, this is one way to turn 12 tiles into a rectangle. And so then after I saw this, I asked them to make a different rectangle. And those who weren't thinking outside of the box, this was a very difficult task. But there's normally somebody at the group that's like, oh, okay, let's try that. And they started kind of doing some hands-on, and they would, maybe move them around like this. Still a rectangle, and still with 12 tiles, but a different type of rectangle. So the important thing that comes out of this is the one we had before. Let me get it back. This rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and it has 2 columns. So this is a 6 by 2 rectangle. So our factors for 12 here are 6 and 2. Our multiple, of course, is 12. Those that made a shape like this, they have 1, 2, 3 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So our factors for this are 3 and 4. 3 times 4 gives you 12. Well, I told them there's at least one more, and some people got it, but there's one more that you can do with this, and it is one straight line. Of course, we'd want it to be nice and pretty, but we get our rectangle like this. This has 12 rows of 1. So 12 rows, 1 column, 12 times 1 still gives you 12. So then from this, they learned that 12, the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So there are 6 factors of 12. Our test on Tuesday is going to look something like this, except I will just give them one hundredths chart. It'll look like this, and I will ask them to do the exact same thing we did in class. They will circle the factors, they will shade the multiples for whatever number it is. But let's say, for example, that I did, if I wanted to do the factors of 24. Okay, 24 times 1 gives us 24, so they would circle 24. 24 times 1, we can count by 1, 24 times to get 24. 24 times 1 gives us 24. Then we can go through each of these and we can think through, if I count by 2, will I ever get 24? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Yes. How many times did I count by 2? Well, it happens that I counted 12 times. So then 12 is also 1, and I can test that. 12 plus 12 gives me 24. Then you can check 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So 3 is also a factor. 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So 4 is also a factor. 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Nope, skipped over it. 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. So 6 is also a factor. 7, 14, 21, 28. Nope. 8, 16, 24. Yes, so 8 is a factor. 9, 18, 27, 36. Nope. 10, 20, 30, 40. Nope. 11, 22, 33. Nope. 12, 24. And so we've covered all the factors. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factors for 24. Then they can go through and to find the multiples for 24, they can add 24 to 24. So 20 plus 20 is 40. 4 plus 4 is 8. 40 plus 8 gives you 48. So you have 48. If they couldn't do that in their head or didn't know how to do it on the paper, they can always just count out 24. And they get 48. 48 plus 20 gives us 68. Plus 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 72 is another multiple of 24. 24 also needs to be highlighted. Very important, because if we're counting by 24, the first thing we say is 24. So that's the first multiple. Second multiple. Third multiple. We want to add 24 to 72. So 72 plus 24 would give us 96. And so these would be the only ones that could shade if we were working with 24. I will probably not do 24 on the test because I did it on the video here. But that is what the test will look like. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great weekend.